yesterday morning, and saw that Israel was at war. The first thing that came to me is with the people who have died, they didn't die. They went home. We're only here for a moment, all of us. And the self that we are is so much larger and so much more amazing than the self that we believe ourselves to be when we are in these bodies. And there is really no reason to feel sorry for someone who leaves the body. From what I feel and what I've seen and what I've experienced psychically and spiritually, they enter into a realm that is just unspeakable in its love and glory and magnificence. However, those who are left behind and who have not yet opened to a consciousness of spirit can suffer terribly when they lose someone to death. Jesus, of course, said, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they will be comforted." I was also understanding that this whole experience of incarnating on the earth is really about one thing: opening our hearts. A lot of us already think, oh, well, my heart is already open. I even thought that about myself, but I see, no. I am just now experiencing what it is like to be open-hearted. I am just now experiencing what it is like to really love myself and my neighbor, my sibling, as myself. And the issue with the war in Israel, the issue with the war in Ukraine, the issue with the wars that we don't even hear about that are still going on, is the resistance to evolving out of ego consciousness, the resistance to the divinity within us that would cause us to really love ourselves and our neighbors, our siblings, as ourselves, as part of us. And just as Spirit said through my channel at the beginning of this service, the more humanity resists that lesson, that call for that level of open-heartedness, the more painful the experiences humanity will have on earth. And what are we to do? Well, Brother Jesus, through Ginger, gave us the answer. I also want to share with you the answer that came in the development class on Thursday, when someone said, I really need to know how to accept when people are just not open to being helped. So the mother of creation came through, and I just want you to listen to this very short message that she gave to us. Before we continue with your individual prayers, there is a message from the mother. I know it pains you, each of you, to see your siblings on earth suffering, to see them suffering and not able or being willing or even being ready to do the work of self-transformation. So I want you to come to me. You can release your grief, your sorrow, your frustration into me in your spiritual practice. Your grief for your siblings who are suffering and who are unable or who are not ready to transform. And I will give to you the peace that passeth all understanding, the peace and acceptance that all is well. And everyone is experiencing the perfect path and process for them, no matter how heartbreaking at times it appears. Thank you, God. Everyone is experiencing the perfect path and process for them, no matter how heartbreaking or horrific it may appear at times. So the mother is always guiding us to feel everything that we feel. So if you go into your spiritual practice and you feel devastated by what you see your siblings on earth going through, she is saying, bring that to me, sit with me, cry, cry, cry as much as you need to. If you feel furious and angry about what human beings do to each other, bring that to me. Scream, yell, stomp. Let that rage come out of your emotional body. Give it to me in your spiritual practice. And as you allow those emotions to release from your heart, from your emotional body, I will pour my light of love into you. And it will raise you up and even more out of human ego consciousness. And you will indeed experience the peace that passeth all understanding, the joy that passeth all understanding, the fulfillment that passeth all understanding. Of course, you do not want other beings to suffer. Of course, it hurts to see that. But you must accept that every being has absolute, complete, and total free will. The free will to choose the path of self-transformation or to say, no, I am not ready for this. I don't want this. I don't want to deal with everything inside of me right now. And there is nothing you can do about anyone else's free will. And we do not want you to suffer. So as you bring your feelings to me through the miracle, we pour our light into you and lift you to a new level of sight, of vision, of knowing. You are given what is called in a Course in Miracles, the vision of Christ. Thank you, God. Now, the thing that Spirit wants me to say about this before we leave this subject, it is really all about our wanting things to be other than what they are. Wanting people to be other than who and what they are in the moment they're in. We want them to be more open. We want them to be more loving. We want them to open to their magnificence. We want them to open to the self of God within. We want them to be happy and fulfilled. But that is up to them. Thank you, God. And now on to what I'm going to say, a more joyful note here.